this time it's another 2 versus 2 31k battle, and I'm playing as Pontus this time, and I'm allied with Sandystar, as Germania. We're playing against two newer players, 231k. This is Augustus Octavian and Barbarian King 187. Augustus Octavian is pretty frequent in the multiplayer, like, lobby, and he usually goes by the name Teehee890 or something like that. But anyway, as you can see, our enemies have brought Thrace, which is a really bad faction usually to bring to 31k, and the Julii Romans. So I'll just go through the builds here first. Octavian picked Rome and Sandy picked Germania. Obviously Germania is quite good against Rome, especially because they have the chosen swordsmen that have armor piercing, and yeah, so Rome is not as good if they're just facing Germania head on and they can actually just rush in. Thrace, I thought, was going to be kind of a counter pick to Germania, so I picked Pontus, and this was because Pontus has pikes and chariots. The chariots will help with the fear effect that Germania provides, and the spears will help with just holding Thrace and also presenting a threat to Rome as well. So what I've brought two chariot archers. They both have, I think, silver or gold attack, and 4 scythe chariots, and they've all got silver or gold defense. As for my infantry body, I have 14 bronze shield pikemen, and they've all got various upgrades. Most of them are gold with 2 chevrons, but some of them are gold with 1 chevron. And Sandystar here has brought a very infantry heavy build for Germania. He's brought 3 berserkers, and they've all got really heavy upgrades. These are probably gold berserkers, so you can imagine that they would cost a ton. He's brought 2 knight raiders, which are gold and have 2 chevrons. And these chosen axemen are also gold with 2 chevrons, so this is a really deadly armor piercing and also fear instilling infantry force. And as you can see, his cav is also really heavily upgraded. He's gone for like gold and 1 or 2 chevrons on these cavalry units, and he's only got 3 of them, and they're arranged in this formation, which kind of tells you that he's just going to go for that one massive charge to try and break the Julii rather than making his cav more versatile. And this pretty much means he can't counter if Julii uses his cav to try and get into his own cav. And he's brought these 2 chosen archers, which are probably here to use their fire arrows, and they're, I think, silver. So onto our enemies, we have Augustus Octavian here. He's brought 4 of these legionary cohorts, and they're gold, silver, and 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8. Yep, 8 of these urban cohorts, and they're gold. And right here we can see that most of his money has gone into these Praetorian cavalry units. These are 6 gold double chevron Praetorian cavalry, so this is where most of his money has gone into, and this is he's going to have to get his money's worth out of these. For the Thracian player, we can see he has brought 1 general's bodyguard, which is I'm not sure if it's maxed out. I think it is maxed out in terms of upgrades. He's got 5 Greek cav units, and they're maxed out or something like that. He's brought some archers, which don't have that many upgrades. I think they're just gold, but he's got 6 of them, 5 of them, and he's put a lot of upgrades in these Bastane, which are, I think, maxed out. So this is 7 maxed out Bastane, and he's got these 2 phalanx pike units at the front, which are, I think, maxed out as well. So these phalanx pikemen are obviously just here to protect his archers. His Bastane would actually do okay, I think, against these Chosen Axemen if it was just a 1 versus 1, because they don't have any armor, so the Chosen Axemen's armor piercing won't actually affect these guys. But the stats of the Chosen Axemen are better than these guys anyway. So on a 1-on-1, Chosen Axemen would still win. So I'm not sure what he brought these Bastane for. If I were him, I thought he would have gone for a more pikeman heavy build to counter Germania, because Germania and other barbarian factions usually don't have that much armor on their infantry. In fact, Germania doesn't have any armor on its infantry at all. So phalanx, the phalanx actually does really well against Germania. And these cav units are light cav units, so they're not going to be able to do much other than run down router units or chase these archers away. But these archers here are a big threat to Germania, and possibly myself as well, because Germania has no armor, so taking missile fire is really, really bad for them. That's why the Romans' Pilar also has a big effect on them. And I'm going to try and take as much missile fire as I can so that Germania doesn't have to take it. And this is what these chariot archers are for. So I'm just going to play it now. As you can see, our opponents have had this little gap in between them. Now, you've got to be careful of gaps like these, because it seems small and you think, oh yeah, I can just move over and support my ally. But a gap like this, I can slip men. I can slip rows of pikes in here and just completely block him off. So here I am rushing forwards. I've got these chariot archers here in a Cantabrian circle trying to absorb missile damage. And I'm running these bronze shields forwards, and I'm aiming for this gap. I'm just aiming to block Thrace off from getting any support to these urbans of Augustus Octavian. And as you can see, Sandystar is moving his infantry up behind mine. I'm just taking all the arrow fire, and these chosen archers are, I think, just shooting these legionary cohorts. So as you can see, Octavian has turned his army around, and I've turned just this one line across to face Thrace, and I've turned these 2 lines across to face the Julii Romans. Sandystar's come up next to this line, and he knows that he's got to take out these Julii Romans. And right now I see Octavian pulling his cavalry over here. I definitely do not want his cavalry coming into the back of Germania's lines, so I send 2 chariot units to at least distract them and hopefully inflict heavy casualties on these heavily upgraded cavalry units. And I've sent a unit of chariots here just because some Bastane was getting around my flanks, and he's got Bastane here as well, but I managed to turn them. And you'll see these Bastane, because they're barbarians and they have really low armor, they'll drop so quickly to my pikes. On this side, Sandy's just triggered his berserkers, and he's just run straight at these Roman infantry units, and these Roman infantry units don't stand a chance. Some of them are stuck on my pikes, but some of them, the berserkers are all here. They finish off these urban cohorts. I've distracted these Praetorian cavalry units long enough that their numbers are way too depleted to do much now. He's got some stuck on the berserkers. He's running some over here, probably in hopes to rout some of my pike units. But yeah, these are pikes, so if I turn them around in time, it'll be okay. As you can see, I'm trying to protect my backlines with these units, as well as keeping all these Roman and Thracian units at bay. The Thracian units here aren't doing any damage. This unit of cav is way too depleted, and they've got berserkers in the back. I've got my chariots here, still shooting these Thracian units, and he's only got 1 phalanx pikeman here, and his general. So he's pretty much wasting all his infantry on this line of pikes. And as you can see, these barbarians aren't going to hold against the pikes at all. Um, yep, we've got a berserker unit here that's doing a lot, and it's really making a difference, making these guys really scared, and now they're running away. Despite their decent numbers, this is like more than half a unit, and it's running. This is almost a full unit, and it's running away. So this just shows you how terrifying berserkers can be. um, yeah, as you can see, these units have regrouped here. Um, I don't have anything to chase them down with, so yeah, we'll just have to let them regroup and take care of them later. These berserkers ran out by themselves. I was trying to reform my lines because they were a bit haywire. So these berserkers get into these archers. These archers obviously rout. They should have probably gone to skirmish mode or something. So these three berserkers really heavily upgraded. You'll see how effective pikes are against berserkers now. Even these loose formation phalanx pikemen, they're able to hold off these berserkers. Look at that. These berserkers making very, very little headway against these pikes. I see this, and with my chariot archers, even though they're very tired, I actually decided to put them into melee because I see these berserkers are stuck, and you do not want berserkers to get stuck like this because they drop so fast. My chariots plow through the back and get the rout. Over here, our enemies have reformed their lines. Sandystar squaring up to them. I'm running my pikes over. Again, these Bastane, they won't hold up against pikemen. Look, instant rout as soon as my pikes went down. They just dropped. They definitely can't hold against pikes. Over here, my chariot archers with Sandy's berserkers have crushed the remaining Thracian forces over here. And all that's left really of the enemy are these urban cohorts here. But against this mob of Germanic infantry, they're not going to hold at all. I've got these pikes just running over here. I'm just gonna run through them. This general is doomed. I just suicide charged my chariot archers into these Bastane, just holding them up. And that's pretty much the game. Like you can see, these urban cohorts can't do anything against this pack. Phalanx pikemen, just one unit left, one Bastane unit left, some archers, and Sandystar's just running them down and making sure they don't come back. So it's the game now. Even if they decided to skirmish it out, we've still got these chosen archers back here, which are way better than these archers, so we would have won. I'm just sending these pike units here. He charges them in. I go into phalanx, and again you'll just see these guys drop. Instant rout as soon as they touch the pikes. These phalanx pikeman units in loose formation won't stand a chance against these bronze shields. I just run through them because they're in loose. And they rout. So Sandy's just going to use his Gothic cavalry to rout the remaining units here. And that's it. So as you can see, that was a heroic victory. It was their first time playing a 31k game, so it's understandable. Sandy with a ton of kills, killing all those Romans and chasing them down. I only got 919 kills. That's because I was just acting as a holding force against Thrace.